A graveyard, not for people, but for machines. Here, in the blinding white silence of Uyuni, Bolivia, rusted locomotives stand like skeletons of a forgotten era. This is the train graveyard, an open-air museum of iron and memory, where ghost trains whisper stories of vanished dreams. And Bolivia's faded industrial might. In the late 19th century, Bolivia had a dream to become South America's industrial giant. Railroads were the veins of this ambition, stretching through deserts, over mountains, reaching silver mines that once fed empires. Uyuni wasn't just a pit stop, it was a beating heart of commerce. Until everything fell apart. The trains stopped. The silver dried up. A workers' revolt shook the country, and Bolivia's rail dreams rusted in the sun. Left behind were hulking metal beasts. Too heavy to move, too precious to forget. They decayed in place, becoming ghosts, relics of hope and failure. Now, Instagram filters paint decay in sepia and gold. Photographers pose on train roofs where workers once sweated. The graveyard draws wanderers chasing nostalgia. Aesthetic pilgrims in love with rust, symmetry, and silence. What was once an industrial artery is now a retro playground. Rust eats everything, slowly. And yet these trains endure, not for speed or power, but for the stillness they now command. Each bolt and wheel speaks of ambition, collapse, memory. The salt preserves more than metal. It preserves stories. You hear them if you listen. The graveyard isn't just a tourist stop. It's a scar from Bolivia's volatile economy. Built on silver, collapsed by mismanagement, the trains mark every boom and bust. Bolivia once dreamed of exporting power across the Andes. Instead, it imported failure and buried it in the salt. Each train here has its own bones. Rusted gears, piston hearts, skeletal couplings. Stripped for parts, but never for meaning. Some wagons still bear markings. Dates, factory stamps, graffiti from miners long gone. These aren't just machines, they're tombstones. The salt is alive, it creeps into everything. It preserves and corrodes. The train graveyard stands between two worlds, the industrial and the eternal. Here, time doesn't pass. It echoes. Do we honor the past or consume it? Every selfie, every drone shot, it's a memory taken, sold, shared. Some locals see opportunity, others see erasure. The graveyard balances between history and spectacle. An old man once told me, "These trains remember." He worked here when steam still echoed in the valley. His hands carried bolts now lost to dust. He spoke not of loss, but of rhythm, the heartbeat of a country that once moved on tracks. The Salar de Uyuni isn't just a backdrop. It's a canvas, ancient, silent, watching everything. Before trains, before tourists, it was here. The salt reflects the sky, but it also reflects time. Burying wheels, swallowing tracks. Holding secrets beneath its blinding white skin. Behind each rusted frame were men. Miners, engineers, switchmen, whose sweat powered nations. Few are remembered by name, but their legacy lives in every dent, every bolt left behind. The graveyard isn't haunted by spirits, but by effort erased. Bolivians once called these trains the dragons of the desert. Now they lie broken, steel vertebrae scattered across salt. Some engines still hold form. Others collapsed into pieces like fallen beasts. But in their stillness, there's a strange kind of dignity. Moving them would cost more than they were worth. So they stayed. First ignored, then rediscovered. What began as industrial waste became art, then memory, then identity. Sometimes the past clings to a place, not because it's heavy, but because it matters. On my first visit, I found it. A message scratched into a train wall. Don't forget why they stopped. No name, just that. A warning, a memory. A whisper echoing louder than the silence. There are no tickets, no guards, no glass cases here. Just sun, wind, and memory. The train graveyard is Bolivia's most honest museum. Not curated, not filtered. Just left. What remains is raw, rusted, and real. A boy plays near the trains. His laughter bounces off metal. His father once worked the rails. His grandfather dug silver. To him, the rust is playground, not ruin. The past and future blur. In a child's joy. Not all stories here are old. Artists now weld sculptures from wreckage. Locals guide visitors through rusted timelines. Photographers chase symmetry at golden hour. From decay comes creation. The graveyard still breathes. Just differently. I whispered once inside a cargo car. My voice came back, aged and cracked. It felt like the place spoke too. Rust has resonance. Silence here isn't empty. It's full of echoes. Some human, some mechanical. The graveyard is more than a ruin. It's Bolivia's mirror, reflecting struggle, pride, ambition, and regret. I met a woman here once. She said our future was once made of steel. She was right. Now we walk on it. Touch the metal, it bites. Sun-heated steel, corroded edges. The graveyard isn't soft nostalgia. It's raw history. These trains weren't made for tourists. They were made for labor, for export, for empire. Now they sit under the same sky, but no longer move. Every rail has a destination. Except here. Here the tracks vanish into dust. Unfinished stories, unwritten chapters. No departure, no arrival. Just stillness. Just endings. Wheels without engines. Engines without crews. Couplings without cargo. The train graveyard is a ghost town. But its ghosts are made of iron. You don't need fog or shadows. The decay is enough. This place shouldn't be forgotten. Not because it's beautiful, but because it was real. Real workers, real failures, real hope. The graveyard reminds us. Even progress leaves wreckage. Even silence tells stories. I asked an old engineer what he missed most. He smiled and said, "The sound when the wheels caught fire." His eyes lit up. Not with regret, but with pride. The trains are silent now. But the people, still burning. The wind howls through hollow cabins. Metal groans with every gust. A door creaks. Chains rattle. This is no silence. It's music composed by time and rust. The train graveyard sings. For those who still listen. They'll tell you it's beautiful. They'll say it's perfect for photos. But they won't mention the miners who vanished. Or the railway dreams that rusted overnight. This place isn't just aesthetic. It's a wound. And wounds, if we let them, teach more than any postcard. In most places, ruins crumble and vanish. But not here. The salt holds them tight, preserving every weld, every dent, every scar. Time doesn't erase in Uyuni. It archives. That's why the trains remain. Still telling stories no museum ever could. There are no plaques here. No dates. Just metal and memory. Maybe that's the point. We remember what we photograph, but we forget what we never ask. And Bolivia's ghost trains. They're still waiting for the right questions. I leave the graveyard with boots caked in salt, and questions that echo louder than any engine. The trains didn't fail. We did, by forgetting what they meant. Ghosts don't haunt this place. They wait. And if you're quiet enough, they'll tell you why.